All right, you people ready to have some fun?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the Big Bang Theory episodes that we could watch on an infinite loop, and the ones that would be better off disappearing into a black hole.
Don't push it, Leonard.
I am not pushing anything.
You are. You don't get to decide when I'm ready to say I love you.
Number 5. Timeless, the Scavenger Vortex. Leonard may not have wanted to be paired up with a liability for Raj's scavenger hunt, but that gave us a chance to see new friendship dynamics. And as it turns out, they're so fun.
No. Let's mix things up. I choose Sheldon. We're gonna kick your ass.
Really? The only time I've ever picked first for a team and I'm stuck with the liability?
We already knew Sheldon and Penny were a great duo, but we also got to see Leonard discover how savagely competitive Bernadette can be.
How am I faster than you? I'm in heels and I stopped to take a phone call.
I have asthma. Back off!
However, Amy and Howard steal the spotlight, as they find out they have more in common than they first thought.
I love Neil Diamond.
I love Neil Diamond.
The scavenger hunt brings out the best and worst in everyone. We see you shoving Penny, Bernie. And while the gang may have been unimpressed with their prize, we felt we'd struck gold. What can we say? This episode is
So good! So good! So good!
Number 5. Want to Forget, the Thespian Catalyst. This episode has its funny moments, like Penny breaking Sheldon during their acting lesson.
Hey, it's Penny. Yeah, I think I broke your son. Hold on. Talk to your mother.
Mommy, I love you. Don't let Spock take me to the future.
However, that's almost overshadowed by Raj's bizarre obsession with Bernadette. Crushing on your best friend's SO is already super awkward, but Raj takes it way too far.
The only thing is I'm gonna be gone for 2 years.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you. Are you going with him?
I have to stay here for school.
That's what we're here to talk to you about. You see, Bernadette has needs.
It's so cringe, like watching through your fingers cringe. Things get really twisted when he imagines Howard in a horrible accident so that he can be with Bernadette.
You say look after, you mean...
Sexually.
Excuse me, Bernadette, I have to hear it from him.
Sexually.
Got it. Take care.
How messed up is that? Then it goes completely off the rails with a full-on musical fantasy sequence. Fans may have mixed feelings about this moment, but if you can put the creepy factor aside, the number is oddly catchy.
You are my heart, my universe, my universe.
Number 4. Timeless, the adhesive duct deficiency. This episode delivers 2 equally brilliant plot lines. Leonard, Howard, and Raj head to the desert to watch a meteor shower, but after indulging in some special cookies, their night takes an unexpected and hilarious turn. We get a peek into the inner workings of their minds, maybe more than we ever needed to know.
Our eyes locked over the pickled herring. We never meant for it to happen.
One day, I hold a great ball for the president of France, but the rabbits, they hate me and don't come. I'm embarrassed, so I eat all the lettuce in the world and make them watch.
Meanwhile, back home, Penny calls Sheldon for help after slipping in the bathtub and hurting her shoulder.
You gotta help me, please.
All right, let it never be said that Sheldon Lee Cooper ignored the pleas of a damsel in distress.
No one's saying that. Let's go.
Sheldon might not be the best in a crisis, but he steps up for her. Watching the guys lose their grip on reality is hysterical, but Penny getting Sheldon to sing Soft Kitty after he gets her into bed is perfect.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
Kitty.
Happy kitty, sleepy kitty.
Number 4. Want to Forget, the planetarium collision. Looking back, it's hard to ignore that the series doesn't always treat its female characters well. Like when Sheldon can't accept that Amy's too busy to work on their asymmetry theory and refuses to take not now for an answer.
I'm really excited about our paper too, but I've got a lot of my own work to catch up on, so let's talk later.
Okay, well, let me just say one more thing. Lambda calculus. And if that wets your whistle, you know where to find me.
He even goes behind her back to remove her from a project she cares deeply about. Yes, Sheldon's known for being inconsiderate and egotistical, but it's frustrating to see him go over her head to decide what's best for her. Of course Amy's mad. Who wouldn't be?
Sheldon, you had no right.
I thought you said you were spread too thin. You said you wished you had more time to focus on our research. I thought I was helping.
Well, you're not. I mean, I have years invested in this work, and now someone's gonna come in and take it over?
This isn't the only time Sheldon shows a lack of respect toward women. Still, if we were Amy, be getting a lot more than just an earful.
So a couple of men get together behind closed doors to decide the fate of a woman's career. I thought we'd move past this.
Sheldon, this is your fault.
Oh, sounds like the old lady's putting me in the doghouse tonight.
Number 3, timeless, the Stockholm Syndrome. We can't talk about TBBT without mentioning the episode that started it all.
Our babies will be smart and beautiful.
After a solid beginning, they delivered an equally strong farewell. The penultimate episode, The Change Constant, does a fantastic job setting up the grand finale.
That's a good point. What if I'm dreaming? We won the Nobel Prize!
However, that last episode really hit us in all the feels. The gang travels to Sweden for Amy and Sheldon's Nobel Prize ceremony, but of course, Sheldon finds a way to alienate everyone along the way.
You just found out that a woman who has loved and cared for you for 12 years is pregnant, and all you can say is you're relieved that she's not going to get you sick.
There's no need for a recap. I was there.
After Amy sets him straight, he delivers a heartfelt speech that honors his friends and leaves fans in tears.
I apologize if I haven't been the friend you deserve. But I want you to know, in my way, I love you all.
We also love how it ends with the camera zooming out on the gang, just enjoying takeout together. Classic. Number 3, Want to Forget, the killer robot instability. The title may reference the killer robot the guys build, but it feels like a B-plot compared to the drama between Penny and Howard. From the start, Howard has been objectifying and disrespecting her, and this is the moment she swings back.
Flirting? You think I'm flirting with you? I am not flirting with you! No woman is ever gonna flirt with you. You're just gonna grow old and die alone.
What frustrates us is how the guys try to make Penny feel guilty for standing up for herself. No matter how harsh her words sounded, Howard is hardly the victim here. Yet that's how the story plays out.
You do kind of have that overexposed to gamma rays thing going on.
What does that mean?
You know, like most of the time you're the easygoing Bruce Banner, but then when you get angry, you kind of turn into like, you know...
It's disappointing to see the series take a misogynistic approach to harassment. While we don't condone violence, we cheered when Howard finally got what he deserved. Hopefully she knocked some sense into him.
Yes, now he knows what bathtubs are capable of doing when you don't treat them with respect.
Number 2, timeless, the staircase implementation. Ever wondered how Leonard and Sheldon wound up living together? Or what happened to the elevator? This episode answers many of our burning questions.
I don't understand. Their existence is conditional?
No, but your ability to perceive their existence is conditional on you passing the second and third barriers.
There's 3?
Each more daunting than the last.
After a fallout over the thermostat, Leonard heads to Penny's to cool off and share the story of how he and Sheldon became roommates, and why he stuck around for so long. It's a thoughtfully funny episode that adds just enough context to make us love these characters even more.
What'd you do that for? I had plenty of time.
You're welcome.
Leonard jumps through plenty of hoops to become Sheldon's roommate. And while we might wonder why, by the end, we gain a newfound admiration for their unique friendship, no matter how odd it may be.
Not only did Sheldon save my life, he didn't rat me out to the landlord, or the police, or Homeland Security.
Number 2, Want to Forget, the Matrimonial Momentum. In the previous episode, Leonard makes a shocking pre-wedding confession.
What did you do?
Nothing. Really, it was just kissing.
And then what?
And then nothing. I stopped it.
Yet, Penny chooses to swallow her feelings and go through with the wedding. For a relationship that has been pivotal to the series since day one, their wedding feels like a letdown. Essentially, it's just a footnote in Amy and Sheldon's relationship drama.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
We did it!
I'm so glad you guys could watch.
Fans waited 9 seasons to see Leonard and Penny tie the knot, so we could have waited longer while they worked through this bump in the road. Better yet, they could have skipped this plot twist that felt very uncharacteristic for Leonard.
Why would you go through with the wedding if you weren't?
I thought I was okay, but it turns out I'm not.
Okay, listen, I may not have been entirely faithful, but you are not easy to lift.
It almost feels like their next trip down the aisle was an apology to fans for putting them through all this. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Timeless, the opening night excitation. Amy and Sheldon take a big relationship step, although it's hard to tell who had a better night, them or the guys.
I look forward to your next birthday when we do it again.
That works for me.
I enjoyed that more than I thought I would.
Want to forget, the table polarization. This episode centers on a table. Let us just say that again. A table.
You guys ever thought about getting a dining room table?
Yeah, you actually do have room for one up there.
Oh, sure. I sit on the floor for years. No one cares. The pretty white girl's there 10 seconds and suddenly we're all running to IKEA.
Timeless, the panty pinata polarization. An almost all-around great episode, but arguably best remembered for one of the greatest comebacks.
Woman, you are playing with forces beyond your ken.
Yeah, well, your Ken can kiss my Barbie.
Want to forget, the holiday summation. This episode had more filler than a Christmas stocking. The kind filled with coal.
By the way, if anyone asks, the elevator shaft always had a tree in it.
So, Bernadette, if I express interest in your baby, will you promise not to make me touch it?
Timeless, the bow tie asymmetry. Everything falls in place so perfectly as Amy and Sheldon embark on this new chapter together.
We have our whole lives to do science together.
Let's get married.
All right.
It's go time! I am pumped!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Timeless, the bath item gift hypothesis. The series' first Christmas episode felt like a gift to us all. Just don't tell Sheldon, or you might be in for a lecture.
You haven't given me a gift. You've given me an obligation.
Don't feel bad, Penny. It's a classic rookie mistake. My first Hanukkah with Sheldon, he yelled at me for 8 nights.
The Leonard Penny David Underhill storyline gets just enough attention to stay fresh and funny. However, it's most remembered for this iconic gift exchange. Penny thinks she's just giving Sheldon a signed napkin, but he sees so much more potential.
Do you realize what this means? All I need is a healthy ovum and I can grow my own Leonard Nimoy!
While he runs off, Penny and Leonard share an adorably amusing moment. Yet they're interrupted when Sheldon returns with what looks like every bath item gift set in Pasadena. This episode feels like a warm mug of cocoa on Christmas morning. It's not a Saturnalia miracle that to this day, it's a fan favorite.
Leonard, look, Sheldon's hugging me.
It's a Saturnalia miracle.
Number 1, want to forget, the cognition regeneration. Aw, Zach. Who doesn't love Zach? However, in the later seasons, it felt like they brought him back without really knowing what to do with him.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This has been such a nice evening. Let's all just stop before anyone says any more things.
Leonard, would you be the father of our baby?
Oh, you said a thing.
In this season 10 episode, Penny runs into her ex, now a thriving businessman who offers her a job. She genuinely considers it, but Leonard isn't thrilled about them working together.
You're not really considering working for him, are you?
Well, maybe. I mean, it seems kind of perfect. I have sales experience, and I've been a waitress, so I have restaurant experience. And if he's figuring out my Christmas bonus, we could buy a boat.
He gets all jealous and possessive and puts his ego above Penny's happiness. And honestly, it's just painful to watch. They ultimately realize there's no scenario where they're both happy.
I'll suck it up.
You don't need to do that. It's okay.
Yeah, see, now I feel terrible, like I'm being selfish and holding you back.
Turns out Zach's fiancé is just as insecure as Leonard anyway. This episode has one of the series' lowest ratings on IMDb. The fans have spoken.
Aren't you gonna say anything?
Not if I want to be doing this later.
Which Big Bang episode do you think is out of this world, and which do you think is a cosmic catastrophe? Let us know in the comments.
I was thinking, oh gosh golly, I made a boo-boo. And I gave it to Stephen Hawking.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.